Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's Daily Draft. As you can see, we will once again be drafting Lost Caverns of Ixalan here today and for the rest of this week. Khans of Tarkir drops next week, and I will be throwing in some Khans of Tarkir drafts here on the channel as well, so stick around if you want to see someone who has never drafted Khans of Tarkir before draft it. We're going to have a good time with that either way. So we're going to dive into Pack 1 Pick 1 here. And the best common, in my opinion, is Inverted Iceberg. I think that is what I would take if we were looking at the commons. The Millennium Calendar, I mean, is a bit of a meme. I don't have the balls to go into a meme deck here today, or many, many times in this format. There is a Diamond Pickaxe Bartolome as well. Bartolome didn't really get there in this format, I don't think, partially because black-white isn't great. I think I'm going to take the Pickaxe. This is a card I haven't had the chance to draft very much, but is performing what I think to be relatively well. It was also a pretty bad pack, if we're being honest. But now we got to follow it up with an Abrade. And if you're going to take an Abrade in this set, take the Abrade. I didn't do that last Friday. Passed some Abrades and let a red-white deck flow by me. But here we are taking the Abrade today. There's a Torch, which is performing better than you might have originally thought. There's a Leap. There's a Confounding Riddle. I doubt this wheels, but we have a good start to a blue-red deck. Diamond Pickaxe plus Zoetic Glyph is ridiculous because you make a 5/4 indestructible. So, but yeah, pretty easy Abrade here. Best card in the pack by a lot. So what can we find now? The only red card is Sunfire Torch, which, like I said, is fine. Is it finer than Explorer's Cache or Ironpaw Aspirant or Helping Hand or Gem Guard? I mean, honestly, this whole pack is not great. For those of you that have drafted this set at least a couple times, you've probably figured that out yourself, that the packs are just, like, bad. Like, I don't really actively want to take anything in this pack. I think I'm going to take the Torch because it's red and it goes fine with what we have. It's a fine enough card. I don't necessarily want to feel like I have to branch out into white yet. If we had a white card and a red card, I might take the Aspirant here. But I'm just going to stay red and, you know, cut off our neighbor from drafting more red. Now, there's a bunch of red in this pack, but none of it is great, unfortunately. Gold Fury Strider, 5 mana, 3/5 trample. Tap as a sorcery 2 untapped artifacts or creatures to give a creature +2/+0. It's just too clunky and expensive, I think. Dowsing Device never really does what you want it to do, even when you flip it. It does give creatures haste, which is good. Which cave is this? Activate abilities of land sources. No, I mean, there's a Rumbling Rock Slide, which is fine. I'm looking at all the other cards here, and I'm not incentivized to leave red, and I don't think Device is great. I don't like Strider. Hazard is unplayable, so I guess I'll take the Rock Slide, but it's just a little bit too expensive for my liking. All right, best card by a lot is Chupacabra Echo here. Red is starting to dry up a little bit. There is a lot of black. Staggering Size, fine. If we were to find our way into red-green dinos, I'd love a copy or two of this. Cave Diver, probably not. Some white and blue, but Chupacabra Echo is by far and away the best card in this pack, so we're going to go ahead and take that here. And see some good stuff. I mean, we are kind of set up to do a caves thing, but the Gargantuan Leech, I mean, is good in that deck. I just don't know if it's great. Something that I know is great and really like is Sunshot Militia. We've already got a Pickaxe and a Torch, which is just 1 free damage every single turn, no matter what. So I'm going to take the Militia here over that, and then we do see Itzquinth pick 7. Well, I'm not married to the Echo, but I mean, this is a little bit of a sign that dinos could be open today. There is a Compass Gnome. I always like getting a copy or two of Compass Gnome in most of my assertive decks. There is a Screaming Phantom, which goes well with Echo. It goes well with any sort of other Descend kind of things we would get. But I think the upside of us pick 7 Itzquinth has the ability to be better than that for us. And now we see a Huatli's Final Strike. Interestingly, have never put this card in my deck. But, I mean, it seems okay, especially if we're trying to go pretty big here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this. I mean, the Gnar is not great. This cave, I think I'm just going to take this and look towards green-red. This says dinosaur on it, but not exactly what you want. There is a Mine Shaft Spider, and this card, I think, does some pretty good work in the format against all these 1/1 flyers. The Spyglass Siren thing, the Miner's Guidewing, the Ruin Lurker Bat, the 1/1 Black Bat. I mean, it just stonewalls all of those cards. I think I'll take it here. No red and no green. I don't think I need to take any of these cards, so I don't really think I'm playing a blue cave. I mean, maybe we somehow find our way into caves and the Leech Wheels or something. I could just take Ray of Ruin if we end up going black. I think I'll just take the Ray of Ruin. I don't think the blue cave is what we want there. Okay, so more black. I think we can take our first Screaming Phantom now. And then hedge back towards black-red. This is great in black-red. There is a cave here as well, but let's take Screaming Phantom. Okay, said if I was going into Dino, Staggering Size is a card I would look for. So we're kind of hedging between Dinos and red-black Descend. I don't think I'm playing any of these cards in either of those decks. I don't need a second Ray of Ruin, Hunter's Blowgun, and a Discovery. So what can we find here in pack 2? Well, we're towing the line between red-black and red-green, and we do know we're playing red, I think. Well, I mean, we don't have to play red, but with a second Abrade, I kind of feel like I have to play red. There is a Restless Prairie here, which is good. There's a Ruin Lurker Bat. That's another one of the 1-mana 1/1 flyers that I didn't even mention. There's a Dynatomaton, which could wheel. There's a Blade Master, which could wheel if we get a good couple of dinos in this pack. There's a Compass Gnome, a Careening Minecart, Cenote Scout. All these cards I would love to wheel. But I'm going to take the Abrade because, like I said, you got to take Abrades when you can. They're just so incredibly good in this format. Speaking of Abrade, can I interest you in 3? This is more Abrades than I have drafted all formats so far. And they're all in one deck. Amalia Benavides Aguirre. Man, there's a black-white deck that could have been here, but I think black-white is among the worst colors in the format. Now, if you get, 2 Bartolomeys, a Visage of Dread, a Guardian, and an Amalia, I mean, it's going to be good. But you can't bet on getting all the rares and uncommons. So we're going to take Abrade here. And I'm looking to get into dinos today. That's where I want to be based on what I have. I mean, Ray of Ruin is whatever. Phantom and Echo are good reasons to be black-red. But Itzquinth, and to a lesser extent, Huatli's Final Strike, are good reasons to be green. Okay, now we got a really, really tough one. Green is already starting to dry up, which I don't like. There is another Sunshot Militia, which I do like. There's also a Zoyoa Lava Tongue, which is great, and a Deadweight, which might even be greater. This is really tough here. I don't... Dinos specifically hasn't seemed open. So this pack tells me pick 3 with a Zoyoa, a Deadweight, a Militia, to a lesser extent a Cave. All of this stuff being here tells me that we're probably going to get hooked up in black-red. And if we're going to get hooked up in black-red, Deadweight is just the absolute perfect card for us here. Yeah, see, we've got the black-red deck here. Green is already completely gone out of the pack. So I think we are going to find our way into black-red. Several cards I would consider playing in this pack, but I do really like Zoyoa Lava Tongue. In black-red, it's a 2-drop. There's a Wanderglyph, which I would play. There's a Tomb Raider, which I could play if we end up high enough on the artifact count. There's a Careening Minecart, which I always love. There's a Mephitic Draft if we end up with enough of Acolytes, things like that. But let's take Lava Tongue here. There's some green again, some red. The only black card is Echo of Dusk, which could be fine. Our curve isn't outstanding, but it's not so bad. I don't think the Blade Master is going to be for this deck. When I said earlier, I think I said pack 2 pick 1 that I hoped this would wheel for dinos. I thought this was the 2-mana 2/2 that got +1/+1 when it attacked or blocked if you have a dino. But this is the artifact one, so pick 9. I'm not looking for this anymore. Do I care about Rumbling Rock Slide number 2? Probably not. I think I'll take the Echo. It could end up making our deck here. Alright, now we're seeing some dinos, but I think the dream has passed on the dinos. So, second Echo of Dusk, an Acolyte, Idol of the Deep King, Panicked Altasaur. I guess I can take another Echo. I'm not thrilled with many of these cards. A Deathcat Marionette. Look at that. 7th pick Cenote Scout. What is going on? There was no green for like 2 straight packs, and then we get a 7th pick Cenote Scout, Spelunking, and Huatli's Final Strike. Again, I think we are pack 2 pick 7. We can't really go back at this point, I don't think. So, do we take the Lattice or the Marionette? I think, well, the Marionette, both of these are good for what we're looking to do here. I think I'll take the Lattice. I always like having a copy of that in my red decks. Just gives you a little bit of flood insurance. There is a Deep Goblin Skull Taker, another Strider, which I already said is too clunky for me, so I think I'll just take the Skull Taker, and maybe we run it, maybe we don't. Look at that, not a lot wheeled, which is unfortunate for us. Blade Master's still here, but this is not the one that that's the one I just clarified for you all. I'm going to take the Restless Prairie. I don't think I'm playing anything here. Can rare draft a little bit. I don't think treasure, whatever that treasured thing, is particularly playable either. Now, my first copy of Compass Gnome, I always like to get at least one of these. There is a Mephitic Draft, but there's not a lot of ways to sacrifice this in this set. Greedy Freebooter, I could play that. Same thing with Ray, we'll see. Yeah, lots of options for us in pick 2, and not a lot of the good ones came back here. I don't think Justice is playable. I don't want the Blade Master. I guess I could take the Fungal Fortitude. Ooh, Wanderglyph came back. That's a decent little 2-drop. So many Brazen Blade Masters. And a last pick Final Strike. Growing Rites of Itlamok. Probably a great commander card if I had to guess, but not for limited in my opinion. So the question is, Synapse Necromage, 3-mana 3/1. When it dies, you create 2 1/1s that can't block. Versus Plundering Pirate, 3-mana 3/2. ETBs make a treasure. I think Plundering Pirate is better than the Necromage. Might be a hot take, but these 1/1s that can't block, we don't have ways to really sacrifice them. I guess we have a torch and a pickaxe that make them a little bit better. But Plundering Pirate's just good. Just going to take that here. Which one is this? As an additional cost to cast it, discard a card or sack a permanent. It's equal to the number of permanent cards in your graveyard, and its toughness equal to that number +1. Well, what are our other options? A Defossilize, a Tithing Blade, a Monstrosaur. Yeah, let's try it out. How many permanents do we have? 11 creatures, 5 artifacts. Some of those artifacts are creatures, though. 1 enchantment. Yeah, let's take Souls of the Lost over Defossilize and Tithing Blade and the Monstrosaur here. Ooh, what's this one? 5 mana 5/4. Whenever it ETBs or attacks, return up to 1 vampire from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it, and you lose life equal to its mana value. Currently have 2 vampires. Okay, that's not nothing. Oh, both Echo of Dusks. We gotta have all of the Bartolomews in this draft. There's also another chance. Child. Goblin. Don't think this is much of a goblin deck. Let's take the Queen's Bay. Things are already starting to dry up a little bit here. There is an Ancestor's Aid, which is actually a card I think is pretty good. I just don't know how good it is in a format that wants you to have a bunch of permanents in your deck. I don't like Sunbird Standard. Again, the Mephitic Draft, we don't really have ways to sacrifice it. And then yet another Compass Gnome. I could just play a second Compass Gnome here. I think I'll take that over the Ancestor's Aid. This is a vampire. Works well with our Queen's Bay Paladin. There's a Gargantuan Leech. We have 0 caves, so we're not playing that. Child of the Volcano, probably not. Let's take the Acolyte. It might be playable in our deck. We'll see. Ooh, another Sunshot Militia. I like that a lot. These cards are going to be the way that we win games here. Like, we're going to put them down to maybe 9 life points or so with all of our early aggression, and then be able to remove some things with the Braid, get them a little bit lower, and then the Militias will probably win us at least 1 game in this draft, if I had to guess. Here is all of the blue and green. Not playing any of it. Ooh, Tithing Blade, a second Acolyte. We're not discovering in this deck, or a Hotfoot Gnome. Again, this just goes well with our Queen's Bay Paladin. We have enough removal. I don't think we need Tithing Blade here. Not to mention, if there's one pick 8, we might wheel the one pick 9. We did not. I don't think this is good. I'll take it anyway, because I'm not playing anything else here. Vito's Inquisitor, another vampire. Sack another creature or artifact, put a 1/1 counter on it, it gains menace. I don't think that's good enough. I'll put it in the main deck for now, but I just don't think that's particularly good enough. Not playing anything here. And looks like that's probably all we're going to get out of this draft. So we towed that line for a little bit. We kind of got forced into red by taking as many Abrades as we did, and I just value that card so highly that I feel incentivized to stay red when I do so. And then in pack 2, we really got cut off a green, even though I think if we just like put the blinders on and went red-green, we probably could have made it work. Would have been close. I don't think we need Ray of Ruin because we have a Rock Slide, 3 Abrades, a Deadweight. I mean, we've got a lot of things we can do. I think Fungal Fortitude might actually be okay. Currently have 18 creatures. Freebooter. I don't mind all of our creatures. I would like to keep Pickaxe and Torch. The Rock Slide is kind of like removal for the big stuff. Whereas Abrades and the Deadweight can only kill the small stuff. I don't know if I want to keep it in. Even though the Inquisitor is a vampire, I still don't think it's good enough here. The Acolyte can also represent some damage going to the face. Freebooter. Don't know about that. So we only have 3 non-permanents in our entire deck, and they are the 3 Abrades. So we're going to be descending ideally a good bit. The Wanderglyph will help us do it. The Deadweight does it. Any sorts of trade does it. Acolyte sacrificing things does it. This discarding and sacrificing does it. Lattice does it. Probably 16 lands. We don't have a lot of mana sinks here. We have 1 craft card. And how many dinosaurs? Yikes. Literal 0. So this is just Tormenting Voice that leaves an artifact for sacrificing for the Acolytes or the Sunshot Militias for tapping. Fungal Fortitude. I want to try it. I think it's a pretty good version of this effect. I think I'm willing to try it here. Question is, like, do I want a freebooter? Do I want a second Echo of Dusk? I'm going to cut one of these here. And then probably run it like this. I think 8 and 8 seems fine. Yeah, let's try this out. I don't have super high hopes for it, but these are the kind of decks that can just cheese out some wins sometimes if your opponent stumbles at all and doesn't play a 1 or 2, or you're on the play and their first play isn't until turn 3, things like that. So we're going to try this one out in the queue, and I'll see you in game 1. Alright, here we are. Unfortunately, don't have Pickaxe on turn 1 unless we draw a mountain, but Compass Gnome on turn 2, finding a mountain. Probably going to go a long way in helping us keep this hand. Perfect. Found the mountain anyway. Iron Paw, Aspirant, probably making itself a 2/3, that's what I thought. Do we need another land from Compass Gnome? I don't think we do anymore. So let's just play a 2/2. That blocks their 1/1. Careening Minecart. Alright. This Chupacabra Echo is not looking great in our hand. I think I'm going to take the treasure and just use it on a Compass Gnome, get a body on the battlefield, and figure out what to do from there. I don't think they're going to trade with the minecart, because they also get treasures when they attack. Now we have to take 5 and they get a treasure here? Not great. Yeah, that was what I was worried about with their 5-drop, because that is going to be a huge issue for us. We have to take 2 damage a turn now. I don't think they block here, obviously. But it'd be nice if they did, I guess. Okay, that's perfect. That's a way to get rid of that. Now... Okay, so that's going to explore. Found a land. I guess I can just play Echo next turn and kill their Seeker, and then they don't have great crew bait with this. Probably trading this with Phantom here, but I can't just take 5 over and over again. Please miss again. I really... Well, the Echo can now kill this even if they hit a non-land, so... That'll be good. Boy, did they hit a non-land. They can play that next turn, too. How do I deal with that? The answer is I don't. Huh. That's going to be a problem. So it's got Vigilance, right? Yeah. This is also the part of the game where we really do like to draw all of our lands here, so that's not going to assist us in any way. We don't have the Rumbling Rock Slide in the deck. Deadweight can kill this thing. Not to mention they can just crew and loot every single turn now until we can get rid of that. We do have 3 Abrades here. Gonna kind of need to find an Abrade to get rid of this so they can't just constantly sculpt their hand here. Unless they let me trade with the minecart, which I don't think they will. Alright, I mean, I don't know what they have, but I have to try to kill this. I can't just... I mean, I have to block something, obviously. They have 1 card in hand? Alright, that died. Can't flip it unless they attack with 3 or more creatures. As I mentioned, we will draw nothing but lands from here on out, so I don't know how we're going to win. Alright, go to 3, and now we get 1 more top deck. Oh, did they just mess up? I guess they did. So now we get 2 more turns. Never mind. Let's finish it off with the 3rd land in a row. Perfect timing. Just as they drew the diamond pickaxe. Now all they have to do is crew and equip, and then we lose, so... Yep, perfect timing. Okay. I did what I could there. Alright, we're first this time with a good hand. If we can find 1 or 2 more lands and don't get stuck on 2, we'll be pretty good here. Okay, well that guarantees at least 1 more land. So that was nice. Gonna get the black because we do have double black for the Echo here. Alright, let's hit them. Oh gosh, I really hope... I just freaked out and thought they had the... What's it called? The counterspell? Yep. Thought they had the Cogwork Wrestler. Playing against mono blue or something? Okay, looks like they'll lock that down. Blue-white. Oltec Cloud Guard. Here we go. Can't imagine they double block. I mean, maybe. We do have a braid to blow them out if they do. I would love for them to. Looks like they didn't. Do I braid main phase to avoid any sort of blue shenanigans over there? I think I will. Could destroy this artifact, but... I think this is going to be important to get rid of as well. Glorifier, sacrificing the needle. Okay. Guess we'll just do this here then. Oh, do they have another one? No? I don't know what they have. Ah. A 1/1. Sure. I guess I chump here to make Chupacabra Echo get closer to killing this thing. Look at the top 4. Okay. And I don't know if they're going to attack with the Glorifier. They might. If I do, I think I'm chumping. Thinking hard about what to get here. Looks like they've got some good options. Got rid of an Oltec Cloud Guard and a Brine Fang close to casting it, so... Don't have a way to get to 3 in the graveyard this turn to kill that. I could just do 2 and kill that. That might just be good enough. I can cast everything in my hand here. This also just trades for their 4/3. And then we've got a trade here. We've got a lot of reach damage with these militias. But I'm wondering what they took off the top. Okay, we won't be attacking anymore. And then, yeah, I guess we just do it again. We'd have to take 6 on the backswing, but they're probably not attacking. Do I want to move this around? It doesn't seem super pertinent to move it around. And I guess I could, like, move it over here, and then I could attack with it, but I don't think it matters that much if I move it around. So we're 2 turns away from lethal. That should be okay. Draw land. Animate the anchorage and attack, I guess. Yep. Like I said, whenever we start to need to draw more stuff, we just, well, don't. Okay, if I attacked with everything, they block. Let's start by doing this. Sure. And what happens if I tap the last one? I take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have to find 4 more damage. 9, 10. To find 2 more damage. They also have something right now. Like, they've been getting priority here. With only 1 mana, it could be the +1/+3, so then they only need to find 1 more damage. It's risky. Yeah, see, they're getting priority. This is only a sorcery. This costs 2 mana. They have a land, so what is that? The +1/+3 in flying? So they hit me for 5, 6, 7, potentially 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I'm just going to hold back. Going for the Explorer, and they did get a counter. Ooh, that's a fun one. Throw into the Grim Captain. Vampire. Merfolk. Dinosaur. Pirate? No, no pirate yet. Yeah, see, there was an extra counter, so I think they would have had us dead had we attacked, or had we tapped these to deal a damage here. Could have been close. This is 9. I think they're 1 mana short, because I do think they have +1/+3 in flying, so they could give this +1/+3 in flying, but then they can't animate that to do the last 2 damage. Because right now they can deal 10 to us. If that is the +1/+3 in flying. Yeah, I think that's exactly what they've got here. And they're 1 mana short. And they're just trying to figure out a way to make it work. If this had vigilance, it would work, but yeah, looks like we got them. Now, they technically could have attacked with all these, and I would have had to chump. And I only had 5 things on the board, and they were at 3. So they weren't technically dead, but apparently they thought they were. Alright, on the draw here with a pretty darn good hand. Echo on 2, Plundering Pirate on 3, and Deadweight on 3. Put a card in the yard. Echo can deal 1. Ooh, they're ramping. Okay, that could be scary. We do have an Abrade now, though. That's always nice. It's a warm and fuzzy feeling to have an Abrade in this format. See? What are they revealing out of their hand here? Another one, I bet. Oh, God. A Polani's Hatcher. Okay, so we have to save Abrade for this turn, I think. Yeah, because at the beginning of combat on your turn, they make a 3/3. So we have to kill it at instant speed. Which means we can't play Plundering Pirate here. So yeah, go ahead. Sure. Now they have 2 0-1s that probably aren't going to be doing much. Yeah, I guess I'll play Pirate, and I don't think I'm gonna deadweight anything. If this finds its way to trade, which we can do with the Yearling, then the Queen's Bay Paladin can reanimate it, which would be pretty good. See if they have a combat trick here. No. I guess I can deadweight the Yearling. And then Diamond Pickaxe, equip, go from there. Okay, mountain cycling. I guess because they didn't have another mountain, they couldn't cast it. So I'm expecting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm expecting the 7-drop green dino here. A 5/5 and a 3/3, or a, yeah. Oh jeez, that is so annoying. Are you kidding me? Well, now we lose to that, I guess. Really? That is so incredibly annoying. Alright. I guess these hold back these 3/3s at the very least. Ah, oh, jeez. Now they don't. Perfect. Just the perfect stream of everything going wrong. Sometimes you just lose to rares. It feels bad when you do, but, you know, can't do anything about it when they reanimate the card. Oh, perfect. That's probably something you wanted to put in your hand and not cast right now, but I'm not the boss of you. Heck, you probably just win at this point. I think we're just dead. Yeah, goodness gracious. See you in the next one. Alright, let's hope for a little bit better luck this time, not going up against stupid cards for limited. And basically rendering everything we did useless. We found a way to deal with their rare. Like, it's a very good card, we dealt with it, and then they just, like, brought it back, and not only was it good the second time, but it was doubly good because they got 2 more eggs when it came back in. Okay. Yeah, let's do this here. Next turn, I guess just playing the Acolyte. Red-green Inti. So now I need to kill this, like, pretty darn quickly. So I play Souls of the Lost, sacrifice Freebooter, use the treasure to abrade the Inti. Compass Gnome. No, don't think we need you anymore. Yeah, because if they get a way to attack with that even one turn, it starts to really snowball out of control. Now we're like out of cards in hand, and they have like 8. Not out of cards. We have a couple here. Hold that back up to block. Never mind. Looks like they have a trick. Or they're bluffing me. Either one. Okay, ramp. But do they have a land drop is the question. And the answer to that question is yes. Not only a land drop, but a splash. Alright, what are they splashing in white here? Probably many good things. I think I'm going to get rid of this. Got lucky here. I guess I could have attacked with Souls of Lost. I don't know why I didn't do that. I guess I thought this was untapped. Probably should have attacked there. I do believe will I trade Lava Tongue for Kincaller? Because this does have Death Touch. Okay, so we know they have some sort of trick here, so these blocks kind of force them to use it somewhere, and if they use it here, then I can sacrifice the Souls of Lost to the Acolyte, and then these will still trade. Let's see what it is. First Strike. Alright. They have another one? Oh no, I was going to give it Trample. It's going to be +2/+2 and Trample. Oh no, it's Hotley's Final Strike. There we go. Perfect. This is all going exactly to plan. And by that I mean this is going horribly. Thought that might happen. So we'll decline. Tap these two and pass. Technically have blocks, and then they just keep playing all these bomb rares against us here today. So that's been great. Yep. I need a braid, like now? Now instead, the deck says, how about a land? Alright, looks like we'll be 1-3 with this deck. I mean, look, there's sometimes you just match up against all the decks that are, like, perfect against yours. I mean, this thing is going to be a 3/4 now. It's going to make 2. We're just not... not able to keep up with this anymore. We have 3 Abrades in the deck. Couldn't find any of them in time, unfortunately. Drawing all the lands exactly when we don't need to, so... like I mentioned, that's what we do here. I mean, exactly when you need to start not drawing lands, we just draw the lands. So... So what I do here on this channel is I post every draft that I do. You see all the incredibly frustrating ones like these as well. Because, yeah. I mean, do I have anything? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, die. So, yeah. I post every draft so you see how all these decks do regardless of their result. This is our worst performance so far in LCI, and it was just a frustrating one. And sometimes things are frustrating, and that's okay. Just try not to tilt too much, and just go on to the next one. Sometimes it doesn't work out in your favor, but you'll see this one. I'm not sure there's much I could have done otherwise in this draft. It was just one of those unfortunate drafts, I'm pretty sure. So thanks for tuning in if you're still here, and I will see you next time for your daily draft.